Hello. This is take 2 of my Facebook Live talk. Who do you want to be when you grow up? I had some technical difficulties. Thank you for those of you that were there, but I decided to start over. So I am Lori Hazel. I am a life design coach and transformation teacher. And I help women of all ages to tap into who they really are beneath all of the uniforms that they've been wearing, to tap into what matters most to them and to what they really, really want in order to design their beautiful next chapter that brings the joy, the purpose, and the meaning that they crave. So, who do you want to be when you grow up? When we are adolescents about to embark upon our first independent chapter in life, we get asked this question all the time. What's next? What will you do now? What do you want to do when you grow up? I ask my students this all the time. We're always talking about what they're going to be doing. But what about now? What about at the middle of life, or middlescence, as Chip Conley calls it? Just like adolescence, a time when we experience so many major transitions, physically, hormonally, emotionally, so too do we experience this at the middle of life. Profound physical, hormonal, emotional, and existential transitions. Only now we're adding a heavy dose of experience and wisdom to the table. And we arrive here, as we do at 18, often asking ourselves these same questions. Who even am I now? What now? What's next? What do I want my next chapter to look like? Who do I want to be when I grow up? What an amazing opportunity this is. How lucky are we? This all really hit me recently as I took a trip to Mexico with a friend on a whim. She was going to a wedding and I tagged along. My girlfriend is 20 years younger than I am, and I never could have predicted the information and the wisdom I would gain for my future by taking this trip. You see, I spent the week surrounded by women in their mid-30s. They had babies and toddlers. They were in full-on family mode. That was me 20 years ago, exactly where they are now. I felt so grateful for the feelings of nostalgia it brought up for me, watching them chase around their babies and take full advantage with their girlfriends when they were offered a short reprieve from parenting. And then there was the flip side to my reflections. If this was my life 20 years ago, and they are me 20 years from now, where am I in 20 years? And man, did my journal get some action on that trip. Who am I 20 years from now? Who do I want to be? How do I want to feel 20 years from now? What do I want to be doing? And most importantly, what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do now in order to feel that way then? Because of course, we're not just going to arrive there 20 years from now and think we're going to make it happen then. We have to start doing we have to start practicing what we want to become now. These questions have become so important to me, as it feels sometimes like this past 20 years has flown by in the blink of an eye. My babies are now amazing young women, embarking on their own beautiful journeys. Anyone else feel this way? And where does that leave us? Who are we now? What do we want? We spent the past few decades sporting many identities: caregiver, colleague, boss, employee, mom, wife, daughter, chauffeur, chef. As these identities start to shift and change, and we enter into a couple or many transitions, perhaps our kids are grown and leaving the nest. Maybe we've had a successful career for a couple of decades or more. Maybe it's coming to an end. Maybe there's been a divorce or a loss. And now for the first time, perhaps in decades, we're looking at ourselves and we're wondering, what now? What if we were to look at this time as a beginning rather than as an ending? What if instead of believing that this was the beginning of the end, we arrived here at middlescence as wide-eyed and curious as my 18-year-old students, open to all the possibilities and opportunities? We are living so much longer than we did 100 years ago. Midlife was about 25 years old. Now our midlife might be 50. So what are we going to do with these next 20, 30, 40 years? What are we going to learn? Whatever we want. So perhaps for the first time in a very long time, we get to ask this most important of questions. Who do I want to be when I grow up? And what do I want to do? When I know that I still have so much life to live, I know that I have so much to offer, I know that I want to make a positive impact in my world. What if our best years are still ahead of us? What if this time of our life is actually the biggest opportunity yet for all of us? What if instead of looking at this time in our lives as the beginning of the end, we looked at it as the start of something even bigger? What if we redefined what retirement looks like and reframed it as rewirement? And we create a new chapter of life that excites and fulfills us, whatever that looks like for us. This is possible, but you have to believe it. What does your ideal next chapter look like? What would you love? Maybe you dream of pursuing a hobby you're passionate about. Maybe you want to start a new career or business venture, doing something you've always wanted to do. Perhaps you want to buy a home closer to your children and your grandchildren, or dedicate yourself to a cause. Maybe you've always wanted to have a vegetable garden, write a book, travel the places on your bucket list, walk the El Camino. What do you want to do, and what would you love? These are your dreams, and you get to decide. How very exciting. The way we age, this is up to us. Aging is a gift, and it is, of course, inevitable. We are going to age, but we get to choose how we do it. We get to choose how we think about it. We get to choose if we will just let it happen as it happens, or if we will grab this beautiful opportunity as a time to reflect on where we've been and where and who we are now, to explore what we really want and what is of utmost importance to us now, and whether we create an intentional plan to make it a fulfilling next chapter of our lives, full of the joy, the meaning, and the purpose that we crave. It is up to us how deep and how rich we wish to design it. So what do you say? What do you choose? Chip Conley asked this question: 10 years from now, what will I regret if I don't do it or learn it now? This is actually a bit of a trick question, as it causes us anticipated regret, a form of wisdom. It asks us to consider what action we will take now in order to not have this be a big regret later. This is literally the question I came home from Mexico asking myself, and I am still exploring. Creating this exciting new chapter is possible. Do you believe it? Well, you can. There are three main elements to designing this inspired next chapter. First, you have to open your mind to the possibilities. You have to get ultra curious, challenge and release your preconceived beliefs around aging. Second, you'll reconnect with your innermost self. What matters most to you? What are your dreams, your values? What do you need in order to feel healthy, energized, and alive in all areas of your life? You have to tap into that essential part of you and learn to listen for the answers. And then you get to design an inspired vision for the next beautiful stage of your life. When you align your vision with your values, you create a chapter that delights and fulfills you, brings you joy, meaning, and purpose. Let's begin with opening our minds. What if what I'm saying tonight is possible? What if this next chapter of our lives really is the best one yet? And what if we have everything already within us to create this beautiful next chapter? What do you believe about aging? What are you telling yourself about getting older? What has society taught us? If you don't want to believe these things, you can change these beliefs. Society says we should have things figured out by now. The truth is, I think this is when we get to rewrite the script. But we have to believe that it's possible. Our thinking directly affects our health. Our body believes what we tell it. So what are you telling yours? Do you believe that getting older means getting weaker, sicker, less capable? That it's full of aches and pains? That life is downhill from here on out? That your best years are behind you? The more we believe these negative thoughts, the more we create a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they will come true. Our mind is always looking for evidence to support our beliefs. Therefore, if you believe that aging is about decline, your brain will grasp onto every moment that supports this belief, and you will likely decline. Conversely, if you believe that your best years might just be ahead of you, that this time of your life is such a huge opportunity for you to grow and learn and explore, then your brain will grasp onto and amplify the moments that support this belief. If we focus on improving with age, on becoming stronger, healthier, more vibrant with age, our brain will believe this too. But you have to first believe it and then feed your brain proof. What do you want your brain to feed on? What do you want to believe about getting older? How do you want to feel 10, 20, 30 years from now? When we shift our perspective, we're opening up to the possibility of more health, more strength, more joy with each passing year. Our brain needs possibility. It thrives on possibility. A positive approach to aging has been shown to lengthen our lives by more than 7 years. And it's not just about living a longer life, but living a deeper, more enriching life. Longer. Are you ready to rewrite this script? To start telling yourself a new story about aging? One where aging is about growth, strength, wisdom, and health? Then do it, believe it, and start feeding your brain the fuel to prove it. Next, we allow ourselves to boldly imagine our ideal next chapter. Our dreams and our imagination are the keys to our desires. If you can't dream it, you can't do it. If you were to imagine your ideal next chapter, what would it look like? What would you love? Our dreams are the key to what we want, what we really want. Our essential self whispers to us through our dreams. They come from deep within us. They are our heart's desires, our longings, and they are unique to us. As adults, we've often forgotten how to dream, how to use our imagination like we once did as children. However, our dreams and our imagination give us clues to what we really want. They cause us to light up with energy when we do something meant for us. They help us to better understand ourselves. Our dreams reveal our deepest desires. It is so essential to listen to what they are trying to tell us. We've often shut this part of ourselves down long ago. I would encourage you to invite this practice back into your life. You can start with a journal and a pen. You are never too old to dream. What would I love? Let it flow from deep down within you. Give yourself permission to dream, to let your imagination flow. And if you're feeling really adventurous, create a vision board for yourself. A physical one, a Pinterest one, really kind of getting those things that you really, really want in your life together into one place is a really beautiful visual reminder and a really beautiful clue as to what you're looking for. It's a really great practice if you have some time and are feeling that. Paulo Coelho, writer of The Alchemist, said this about dreams. It is the possibility of achieving a dream that makes life interesting. What does he mean by this? It's the pursuit of the dream and who we become in the process that is so beautiful and so worthwhile. Achieving the dream or the goal, it's just icing on the cake. I have some questions that I ask my clients in order to get some clues into their deepest desires and dreams. Just notice what comes up as you complete these sentences. If I didn't care what people thought, I would. If I were sure I'd succeed, I would. If I had the nerve, I would. If I could be certain it was the right choice, I would. If I weren't worried about the future, I would. And lastly, if I had the freedom, I would. What do you notice? Perhaps there's a theme that emerges as you answer those questions. These answers are clues to your deepest longings. Anything surprise you? Next, we move on to our compass, our core values. What really matters to you? What is of the utmost importance to you in your life? Our core values are those key principles that guide our attitudes, our behaviors, and our decisions. In short, they define who we are and how we show up in the world. It's important to know what our core values are in order to make better decisions for our lives. When we make decisions in alignment with our core values, we'll feel more fulfilled, peaceful, in integrity with who we are. Conversely, when we make decisions that contradict our core values, there is constant cognitive dissonance within us, an incessant internal battle, and we can't figure out why, we can't find any peace, satisfaction, and we feel stressed and tense all the time. For example, if one of your core values is health, yet you're continually eating junk food or drinking 2 glasses of wine a night, you may have quite a battle ongoing inside your head, and it probably doesn't feel very good. It's because your health is super important to you, but you're not making decisions that align with that value. If you make a change and allow yourself your favorite cheesies once a week and a glass of wine a couple times a week, you might find that you feel much better in your body and your mind. Identifying and overtly defining our core values is absolutely foundational to living a happy, authentic, and purposeful life. Life flows much easier, and you'll be happier when you design your life in alignment with your core values. If you haven't done a core values exercise in a while, now might be a really great time if that's something that calls to you. How do you flourish? How do you care for yourself? What do you need to feel healthy, energized, and alive in all areas of your life? To revitalize your body, your mind, your spirit, and your relationships? A well-being plan, a vitality plan, some rituals or non-negotiables, whatever you want to call them. Having something that you follow, something that you do every day or every week is a really beautiful practice. Do you feel energized and alive? When? Where? What are you doing, and where do you not feel this way? Do you have self-care routines and rituals, those practices that are non-negotiable for you, that you enact daily or weekly to care for yourself? I like to use the acronym SPIRE that I picked up from Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, a Harvard psychology professor, on a Mel Robbins podcast. He was talking about how we don't attain or achieve happiness, but how tending to ourselves and caring for ourselves daily in these 5 facets of our life contributes to our overall happiness. I would argue that tending to ourselves in these areas is also paramount to our wellness and our vitality. So, how are you tending to your spiritual well-being? Do you meditate, journal? Do you take walks in nature, spend time in solitude, breath work, or have a gratitude practice? The P is your physical well-being. Do you eat nourishing, healthy foods 85% of the time? Do you get enough water? Are you mindful of your caffeine and your alcohol intake? Do you move your body daily? Intellectual well-being. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What do you read? What are you learning about? What are you engaging in, taking in on social media? R is your relational well-being. Who do you spend your time with? Do you pay attention to your energy around these people? Do you find that there are some people that really give you a lot of energy and you want to spend more time around them, and then that there are some people that maybe drain your energy a little bit and you want to maybe spend a little bit less time around them? It's really good to observe this about yourself. And then the E stands for your emotional well-being. Are you accepting that you are indeed human, that you have human emotions, and that these emotions are not meant to be pushed down or pushed away, that they show up for us and they are meant to be felt and to be experienced by us? You can create your own plan, what works for you, what fuels you and energizes you, and you can put those into practice daily, weekly. I have a daily practice, and I call it my 4 connections, and I consider a good day to be the day in which I connect to 4 things that are of utmost importance to me. So first, I connect to spirit, to something beyond myself. And I do that by journaling. I do that by meditating. I'm outside every day in nature. I connect to myself, and I connect to myself honestly in those same ways. I connect to my loved ones. So I make sure that I connect to my daughters, to my sister, to my girlfriends, to my parents. I want to try and connect to somebody, at least one person, daily. And do I connect to nature? And yes, I absolutely do. So I try really hard. That's a practice that I try really hard for every day. Let's talk about purpose. Because purpose gets a lot of airtime. As a life design coach and transformation teacher, probably 2 of the most common questions my clients come to me with are, what is my purpose? Or what am I supposed to do now? What beautiful questions these are, because if you're asking them, it means you're curious. It means you know you want something more. It means you know you have much to offer. And this is so exciting. And what if our purpose is not just one elusive thing that we're looking for, but instead is all the things that conspire to make a beautiful, fulfilling life? What if we have a purpose portfolio and we collect all of these practices that keep us vital and well, the relationships that are so very important to us, the dreams and desires we have innately within us, the unique skills and passions that light us up and give us so much energy, and the wisdom that has come from learning the lessons from decades of our lived experience. And we bring them all together, and they make up our purpose. What if our purpose is found at the intersection of all that we have collected in our portfolio along the way? Liz Gilbert reframed purpose in this way. Instead of asking, what is my purpose? Ask instead, how can I be of service? At midlife, we get to make choices for ourselves that align more with thriving and less with surviving. We're in a beautiful place to reimagine this time as a time of deep purpose and meaning. What is important to us? What gives our life meaning? What lights us up and energizes us? What are we most curious about? Follow that. All this to say, ignite your sense of curiosity. This will help you to uncover new clarity into what excites you and fulfills you. It will help you to find opportunities, to explore, and to use your unique skills and passions to make a positive difference in your world and therefore the world around you. Is this not purposeful? It's like a little treasure hunt within. Finally, the place where our intention meets action. We bring our learnings and our insights together with our beautiful intentions and visions, our dreams, and we design a path forward where we bridge the gap between our intentions and our actions. In other words, we make a plan and then we follow that plan, continually clarifying our vision and working towards making our dreams for this next chapter a reality. I leave you with this. Aging isn't something to fear, and what we fear most at this time is usually uncertainty. But it is this uncertainty that also keeps us alive. If we stay open, engaged, and curious, if we keep stepping into the unknown, this is what it means to live a full life. It's an opportunity to celebrate, to grow, and to keep reinventing ourselves. As long as we're curious and we keep asking ourselves the important questions, we are growing, we are learning, we are exploring, and we are discovering. We follow our joy, we live with intention, and who knows what beauty and wonder will unfold for us. It's most certainly not about slowing down. Curiosity is far more valuable than certainty. The moment we stop asking questions, we stop growing. The first step, take a risk, any risk, no matter how small. Make a video live chat. If this talk has resonated with you, if this excites you, don't wait for permission to redefine or reinvent yourself. Intention is the key. Are you ready to step into your next chapter? If you need support, I am your girl. Thank you for being here. It is my honor chatting with you tonight, despite the technical difficulties. Thank you. Bye.